Hello, everyone, and welcome to Robbinsville High School for tonight's non-conference matchup. Do not adjust your sets, fans. We are playing basketball on a Wednesday night here in Graham County, North Carolina, as the Black Knights will host Cocke County, Tennessee. In just a short, brief pause from now, we'll be right back with the introduction of our starting lineups, as well as the playing of our national anthem and the opening tip. It is varsity girls action up first. First to two, Lady Knights. Lady Red, don't go away.
Robbinsville High School for tonight's varsity matchup between the hosting Knights and the visitors from Newport, the Cocke County Lady Red. At this time, if you would, please stand and kindly remove all headwear as we honor America with playing our national anthem. Tennessee, Cocke County, coached by Chris Vince, who tonight's game with a record of 11-8. Sophomore number 1, Addison McNeely. Freshman number 5, Blake Clevenger. Senior number 10, Paige Niekheimer. Junior number 13, Hallie Kitchen. And another junior number 24, Destiny Reese.
All right, fans, welcome back to Robbinsville High School here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast of Black Knights basketball. First of two coming your way. Opening tip at 6:31 p.m., and it goes in favor of Kinsley Phillips and the Robbinsville Lady Knights. These two programs clashed just after the new year, January the 6th, so very familiar with one another. Just 12 days ago, Robbinsville made the trek over to Newport. Beautiful drive through the Pisgah Gorge into Tennessee, but unfortunately, Lady Knights could not pull out a win at Cocke County. Ultimately fell over there by about 15 points, and now 15 seconds into the game, Desta Trammell's at the foul line. First foul goes to Blake Clevenger for Cocke County. Very talented team, and I'm sure we'll see a lot out of them here tonight. Trammell, in probably the most expected part of the night, goes 2 for 2 at the foul line. She's sharp when she gets to step up to the charity stripe. Players to watch tonight for Cocke County. You want to keep an eye on the big senior center inside, number 10. That is Paige Niekheimer. She lit up Robbinsville 30 points. And that time, Aubrey Wachacha had something to say about her first shot attempt. Pulls down the board. Robbinsville up 2-0 here in the first quarter. Also, be remiss, fans, if we did not mention our other sponsor. We do not have a graphic for our friends at Coy Adams Timber Company, but better believe me, folks, they have done a lot to make things possible all season long here on the Gramstar Sports Network, and we certainly appreciate all of their contributions to the cause. 2 for senior Kinsley Phillips off a Desta Trammell assist. The cha-cha block, clean as a whistle, goes back around the horn. McNeely with a kick out to Clevenger, number 5. And another block. 2 big blocks for the big junior from Old St. Titla, Aubrey Wachacha. 4-0 is your tilt here in the first quarter. Scoreboard's lagging a little bit, folks. We apologize for that. We'll get it fixed here as quick as we can. Looks like it's up and going now. There we go. Gotta love our connections here in Graham County. And the 3-pointer will be a Rye. 2 blocks and a jump ball, almost a rebound. And that'll give the ball over to Cocke County. It'll stay with them. 6:29 left. Robbinsville came to play here tonight. They led early at Cocke County in Newport. Of course, they were up 16-5 after the first quarter. How about a 3-pointer from Clevenger? Can't get the outside game warmed up yet. Nietheimer will clean it up and push Kinsley Phillips as flagrantly as anyone could be pushed. And she got caught for her error after her basket. That seemed a little bit uncalled for, honestly, but hey, who am I to judge? Nietheimer with the basket, Nietheimer with 2. And that splits the difference here, 4-2 in the first quarter. They are only telecast of the week, fans, here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Tomorrow, that's right, I said tomorrow, not Friday, as Wachacha puts one up, and it'll miss. Rebounded by Cocke County, number 21. That is Shakira Reed off the bench. Dangerous 6th man for the Lady Red. Nietheimer from outside. Rebounded by Wachacha. Drive into the paint for Carpenter for 2. And it's in and out, and a hard foul. Carpenter with a hip check. Got the job done. Foul is on Carpenter, and that was Hallie Kitchen that got careened to the ground. And the inbound will go to Miss Kitchen. We were saying that tomorrow night will be Robbinsville at Swain County. If you've got it on your calendar as Friday, you were not wrong until 2 days ago. Had to change it due to a referee shortage. Something that's starting to rear its ugly head more and more here in Western North Carolina. Games were scheduled for Friday. Now will be played tomorrow, as 3 from Hallie Kitchen will push the Lady Red ahead 5-4. Robbinsville's second game of the week, coming off a tough loss Monday at Highlands. Carpenter for 2 will get the job done, and it's looking to be a seesaw battle here in the first quarter. Shakira Reed for 2, can't get the job done. And Kinsley Phillips has drawn a lot of heat on the floor here in the early going. I'm not sure about JV coverage tomorrow, but I can tell you for sure that our friends at the Maroon Devils Network on YouTube will be streaming tomorrow's game at the low price of nothing. It's free. Go check them out. They put on a high-quality production. We only hope to get within a hair to emulate what they do in Bryson City. Give them a follow. Make sure you get notified when the video goes live tomorrow. Trammell's 3 misses, and it's 7-6 with 4:14 left. Another 3. Kinsley Phillips jumps about 9 feet in the air for the rebound. Her first board of the night. Freshman Surrey Waddy taking care of business. Madly pressed here by Blake Clevenger, and now Trammell almost got clotheslined by Addison McNeely from behind. And as flagrant a foul as that was, you can't ignore it. That is the 3rd foul on the Lady Red. Comes at the 4-minute mark here in the first quarter. Wachacha dumps it back off to Trammell. Waddy almost traveled, and that time she did. Tried her best to screech on the Fled Flintstone brakes, but instead, onward we roll. Yabba dabba doo. 7-6 Lady Red here in the first quarter. And, of course, we'll bring you the much-anticipated rematch between the Fighting Cocks and the Black Knights as our main event here tonight. You'll want to check that out. Stay with us here on Gramstar Sports. The stream never stops until the final minute of basketball has been played. Foul called again. That was on Big Aubrey Wachacha. That'll be her first of the ball game. Comes with 3:34 to go here in the first quarter. 7-6. Cocke County slight advantage. Here's Nietheimer to the line. And you got to expect this all night, fans. You got two bigs inside like Wachacha and Nietheimer, just about the same height. Wachacha maybe got an inch on her. And both are very, very tough to move around in the paint, as Nietheimer goes 1 for 2 and makes it 8-6. Trammell feeds it across to Abby Ware, who has checked in relief. Kicks it to Liz Carpenter. Good feed inside. It rolls out. Rebounded by Nietheimer. If you see a familiar face as they run by the bench for the Cocke County Lady Red, first three from Clevenger, it'll be off. Rebounded by Carpenter. And she's fouled as she crumples to the ground. That is Chris Mintz, the head coach for Cocke County. If that name sounds familiar, we talked about this on our first broadcast in Newport. He was the legendary Cherokee girls head coach for several years here in West North Carolina. Might remember his son Ty leading the Braves to a 2017 state football championship. The only one in Cherokee history for football. And Mintz has moved over to the other side of the Smoky Mountains. And still just as wonderful a human being as he was when he left. I doubt that'll ever change, honestly. Ware inside. Rebounded by, eventually, Hallie Kitchen. Feed down the floor. One-on-one matchup. Trammell and Clevenger. And Clevenger will take the nod. Excuse me. Cocke County is now up 10-6 here in the first quarter. 2:38 left. Try to pass it across. Trammell might clean up the trash, and she'll hand off to Carpenter for a jumper. Nothing doing. Ball goes out. Abby Ware, of course, played in the JV opener tonight as well. Herself and Katie Lynn Gross, who's also on the bench tonight for Robbinsville, decked out in those sweet, sweet gray uniforms tonight. Cannot get enough of those. Love the gray uniforms. Carpenter still saved it. Trammell with the legal steal. Give it to her. And the bucket. 10-8 on the transition. And the battle continues. Kitchen has set up shop in that right corner all night. Trying to look here. The last time it was a 63-48 final, so it was a 15-point spread in Newport. Robbinsville just tuckered out, honestly. The Lady Knights actually led going into the fourth quarter and just ran out of stamina. And coming off a tough loss Monday, I doubt they'll have too difficult a time finding that second and third win tonight. Carpenter with another jumper for two. She's got good looks here tonight. And we are knotted up at 10 apiece. That's the Trammell, 3 assists. Liz Carpenter, 4 points. Good passes inside by the Cocke County Lady Red, number 24. That's Destiny Reese on the bucket. Game was tied ever so temporarily, now 12-10. 3 for Kinsley P. will trickle out of bounds. Last touched by Robbinsville. Lady Knights trailed most of the game Monday. Frankly, looked a little lethargic, and you can kind of blame that on Mother Nature if you'd like. Big layoff due to the snowstorm that rolled through here, and storm's probably not the right qualifier. How about a Kinsley Phillips steal off of Wachacha's third block of the quarter? Trammell for 2, nothing doing. Hallie Kitchen on the rebound. And the Highlanders had a great strategy. The bigs inside executed perfectly, and man, did they have some hot outside shooting throughout the evening that just were killer to Robbinsville. A little bit of late controversy, and if you're interested in more details about that, I highly encourage you to buy This week's edition of the Graham Star, yours truly, recaps all the fun from up on the plateau on page 9 of this week's edition. Copies are available now at newsstands throughout Graham County and the surrounding area, thanks to our dear circulation driver to my left, Montana Buchanan. Phillips fouled and made the bucket for assist for Dustin Trammell, and a 3 for Kinsley Grace. So a chance for Kinsley Phillips to tack on one more here. Leads back now to 13-12 for Robbinsville. And after the foul, which was charged to Destiny Reese, that is her second. Comes at the 22nd mark here in the first quarter. Phillips now has a chance at the fun 4-point play. She'll have it. Made the 3 from the corner. And it's off. Nietheimer will gladly pull the board down and keep it a 1-point ball game. 15 seconds. Kick across the floor. Nietheimer under pressure from Surrey Waddy. Nice kick back out to Addison McNeely. Phillips rebounds. 5 seconds remaining. Drives up the floor. Desta Trammell. She's going to go for one from way downtown, and it almost found the net. Robbinsville, however, will carry a 13-12 lead into the second quarter here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Don't you dare go away. Second quarter, and we're back with you live from Robbinsville High School. It's a slim, trim 13-12 advantage for the homestanding Lady Knights. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan, your dear pals here on the Graham Star Sports Network, bringing you tonight's telecast. Kinsley Phillips showing off some fancy footwork. Crumples to the floor and can't stay down there too long. 5-on-3. Here comes Reese to make them pay. 14-13. And if you're noticing the same thing I am, fans, seesaw battle developing here in the early going. Waddy for 3. Ended up just being ultimately an assist if you'll have it. Carpenter cleaned it right up. Robbinsville advantage. Neat height. And a foul called, excuse me. They're going to actually charge Desta Trammell with an infraction. How about that? That's obviously her first of the night. Comes here in the second quarter. Reese with the rebound. Allie Kitchen under jeers of airball. Gets the ball back across the paint. And Clevenger will carry it around and will set something else up. Double team on Nietheimer. She is not having that. Kick across to Clevenger. And for 2, nothing doing. Liz Carpenter with her not 1, not 2, but 3rd rebound here in the half. And a travel will be called despite some heavy pressure. We do hope to be with you next week, fans. We will be finally returning home at some point here in life, other than tonight, of course. Robbinsville has had 2 home games since the start of January. And we'll finally get a crack at being back home next week after going to Cherokee. Cherokee matchup on Tuesday. Looking ahead here to see who we play after that. There's so much going on, fans, here in Graham County. Looks like the Robbinsville-Murphy matchup will take place on Thursday, January the 26th. And then, of course, Robbinsville finally back home at the end of the month. So it won't be next week. My apologies. That will actually be January 31st here at home against Andrews. Nothing doing, 0 for 2 at the line. Phillips was charged with a foul. And they're going to charge Trammell with some backcourt, even though she had a double-team effort. And assistant coach Cambry Anderson airing out some grievances to the team for not helping out Trammell in the clutch there. Turns it over to Cocke County. Niedheimer and Wachacha one-on-one. Smacked away and blocked by the big junior Aubrey Wachacha. Here's Trammell. 4 blocks in the first half for Wachacha. How about another one for Carpenter? Nothing doing. Rebounded by Clevenger. 15-14 still your spread here in the second quarter. Niedheimer wheels it in. Carpenter tried to block. Niedheimer crumpled and got the call. Basket counts. And we're back to a Cocke County advantage for now. Bring up Liz Carpenter with 5:30 to go. And one coming from Niedheimer. And it's off. And Wachacha gladly scoops it up. Trammell tries to go coast to coast. Can't do it. Niedheimer with another board. Told you, fans, you got to watch Niedheimer all night. She is the superstar knockout player for these Lady Red. She does a lot of damage on the floor. Destiny Reese making a name for herself, too. That's a 3-point advantage now for Cocke County. First time they've had that in a while. It's been such a back-and-forth battle. And a response will tie it up 18-all here on the Gramstar Sports Network. We will be right back after this short timeout. 18-18 here in the second quarter. 5 minutes to play after a Surrey Waddy three-pointer. We're knotted up again. No discernible advantage, but one thing's for sure, there's a heck of a fight on the floor. Jeez. Destin Trammell was going for the triangle choke. And Destiny Reese didn't want none, I don't think. I think I'd be afraid to take on Trammell in a street fight. Probably fights dirty. Whatever it takes kind of stuff to get the win. Reese will let her shooting speak for itself. 3-pointer. Or 2, excuse me. My apologies. Inside shot makes it 20-18. Good pass the last second from Trammell to Abigail Ware, freshman for Robbinsville, gets in the scorebook. Here's the drive. And that'll be McNeely's first points of the game. Nicely done. Ball stolen away by the Lady Red. Foul called. Hensley Phillips rung up on that one. Second of the game, second of the quarter. Scoreboard's lagging again, folks. I'm sorry. We'll get that worked out here in just a second. It is 22-20 with 3:56 left in the half in favor of the visitors. Very accommodating of us when we traveled over to Newport. Montana and I had a nice crow's nest set up in. And do all we could to make that telecast very, very special. And one was not good. And nothing doing on that one either. Drive in from Kitchen. Last second feed to Destiny Reese. Ball smacked away. Last touched by Liz Carpenter. So Robbinsville outscored them 13-12 in the first. It's a 12-7 Lady Red advantage here at the moment. Niedheimer, nobody's going to guard her. Why not? Nobody's going to fight for the rebound. No boxing out. Katie Phillips is obviously not going to like that. Jump ball. Destiny Reese and Aubrey Wachacha tussling over the loose ball. And possession goes to Robbinsville. Scoreboard's caught back up with us. Sorry about that. 3:08 to go in the half. Wachacha will spin and drop a nice bucket. Good to see out of the junior. 24-22. Nietheimer, good spin move. Lost it as she tumbled, but McNeely scooped it up. What, number 5 for Aubrey Wachacha? Have yourself a night, young lady. Holy cow. I'll start calling her the dream killer here in a second if she keeps that up. 3 off the inbound, nothing doing. Trammell can't get there. Nietheimer will take it up instead. High pass. Took out Alex Knight. We can't have that. That's our DJ. Careful, Alex. What he gets for wearing a Tennessee hoodie. No dogs. Great crowd on hand for a Wednesday night basketball game here in Graham County. Of course, it's a church night, and certainly missing being there with my friends at Sweet Gum this evening. 2 more for Wachacha. We are tied 24-24. Good to see that here on the Graham Star Sports Network. We'll crunch numbers at halftime and tell you who's done what. Top 3 stat leaders during the break. Allie Kitchen for 3 will hit nothing but net. It spun, but she hit nothing but net. 27-24, Cocke County. 2:03 to go. Phillips under double team pressure. And a timeout was called by Lucas Ford. He has taken a 30-second one, and we'll do the same thing with him here on GramStarSports.com. Fans, the Graham Star Sports Network is your exclusive home for Robbinsville Athletics, and we are streaming it all season long and beyond. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan bringing you this venture every single chance we can go live and bring telecast to all of you great fans that are unable to attend games. As I've told a lot of people around the conference during negotiations, if you'll have it, there's always been a market for people that can't make it to the games, and there always will be. Somebody's out of town, someone's sick. We're going through a pandemic, but we're pretty much out of that. That was the original lead argument. Minute 30 left here in the half. Cocke County 27, Robbinsville 24. And tack on 3 more back-to-back trays for Hallie Kitchen. Makes it a 6-point ball game in favor of the visitors. Good spinning pass to Abby Ware. She'll kick it over to Surrey. Waddy will drive in and get nipped away by Kitchen, who's just doing everything right now for the Newport visitors. Rebound, eventually, nothing doing. Rolls out. Last touched by, I guess, Nietheimer's who they're going to say touched it last. And Kinsley Phillips will run point. Eventually dumps it over to Liz Carpenter, who will air out the Hail Mary to Abby Ware for 2. Carpenter tried to squeak in for the cleanup. Couldn't do it. Good hustle. Here's Shakira Reed for 2. And she'll go sailing almost into the wall. Ball is flung away. Foul called with 36 seconds left, and it's on Destiny Shea. And Reed misses her first. Substitution coming. That is Abby Nietheimer. She is a sophomore. Reed goes 0 for 2. Wachacha pulls down her 4th board of the half. How about Aubrey Wachacha tonight? Trammell crumples under Shakira Reed. Everybody seems okay. Reed out. Neely back in. Wachacha with 4 points, 4 rebounds, but 5 blocks here in the first half. And Reed hit the bench. Believe it or not, that's her 3rd foul of the half. Trammell for 2 on the bonus. And she'll hit her first. So she'll get another crack at it. Trammell not a lot on the point total tonight, but it normally takes her about a half or so to get good and warmed up. 6 points now in the half for Desta Trammell. But she's sharing the ball well. 7 assists. And a steal to her credit here tonight. Abby Nietheimer trying to decide what to do. Trammell is not going to let her have too much time to think on it. 18 seconds. 30-26. Abby Nietheimer for 2. Wachacha right there. Gladly gets the rebound. Trammell feed up the floor to Liz Carpenter. Here's Kinsley Phillips. Changed her mind. Passed to Abby Ware, and she overshot it. Carpenter rebound. Flings it back out. That'll bring it into the mad first half. Robbinsville 30-26 deficit here against Cocke County, Tennessee. As the Black Knights hit the floor to warm up, we'll crunch some numbers and join you in just a moment to tell you who's leading what here in the first half. And we're back live from Robbinsville High School. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with about 5 minutes left here in the break. At the halftime pause, it is 30-26 in favor of the visitors from Cocke County, Tennessee. I normally do a top 3 stat leader, but I want to do top 4 just because there's an amazing stat that I want to throw your way here tonight. Liz Carpenter with 6 points and 5 rebounds. Desta Trammell with 6 points, 7 assists, and 1 steal. Kinsley Phillips, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. And Aubrey Wachacha, 4 points, 5 blocks, and 5 rebounds. Big half for those 4 young ladies. But the Lady Red are fighting away and have scooted away with a 4-point lead here at the break. Back-to-back threes from Hallie Kitchen bring us to where we are. It was a tied ball game before that. And we'll see how the second half plays out. Back in 4 on GramstarSports.com. Back live, fans from Robbinsville High School. It is 30-26. Cocke County, Tennessee leading the Lady Knights here at the break. And we welcome you back here on the Gramstar Sports Network as the Lady Knights get some last-minute strategy in about 3 seconds before we hear the buzzer. And onward we roll. Second half underway here on GramstarSports.com. I want to thank everyone for the happy birthday wishes. Appreciate you guys tuning in with us here tonight. What better way to spend my 34th trip around the sun than right here at a high school basketball game? I couldn't ask for anything better. And maybe a Lady Knights win. I'd take that. Sorry, Waddy with the steal. And ball goes nowhere before Nietheimer cleans it up and gets the basket in there to number 5. That's Blake Clevenger. And that's how the third quarter begins. Ball stolen away by Cocke County, and the transition basket for Hallie Kitchen makes it 34-26. Biggest lead of the night so far for either side. And a foul called as Phillips drives in. Kinsley Phillips airs out her first attempt at the foul line, that was her second attempt at the foul line. She had an M1 attempt earlier that went awry. The foul, if you keep the score at home, was on number 24. That's Destiny Reese, her second of the night. Phillips goes 1 for 2. First points of the half for Robbinsville. Quick kick in, rebounded by Wachacha for number 6. 7-point ball game. Carpenter tried to get it in, but it spun over the rim. Nietheimer can't get away. And I'm going to call a foul on Liz Carpenter. And she's not too happy about that. Never see Carpenter really say much of anything, honestly, but she's arguing with the ref. Might not have been the right call. Even Lucas Ford's kind of like, ugh, over on the bench. But this game will roll on regardless. Carpenter's third foul is in the books. Destiny Reese drives in. Gets the foul. Rather than Aubrey Wachacha's sixth block of the night. It will now be Wachacha's third foul of the night. Into the line to shoot is Miss Reese. And Reese hits her first. Back to an 8-point ball game. And she makes her second, 2 for 2 at the line. 36-27 here in the third quarter. Ball stolen away by Nietheimer inside. I'm telling you guys, she is a threat inside and out. Can't take her lightly. And the ball plucked away. Treble to Phillips for 2. She'll get it. Needless to say, Destiny Shea is in a showing mood here tonight. Nietheimer will kick it out. 3-pointer in and out. Nietheimer will clean up the trash. Good work by the big 6-foot senior for the Lady Red. And that makes it 38-29. Low pass to Carpenter. Gets the job done. And another assist for Trammell. That's 9 here tonight. Works her way in. Here's Reese. Ball in and out. Wachacha and Reese get entangled. As they've done most of the night, honestly. Anytime a rebound was up for grabs. Hope you guys like what we're doing. If you do, please continue to support us every time we're on the air. Join us for a telecast here on GramstarSports.com. Let us promote your business. Hey, we can do it properly now. Throw these graphics on the screen. We're looking to incorporate more and more into our presentation. Maybe even some video here later on. B-roll, if you know that term. See how that works out. Rumor has it we may be working on instant replay. Oh my, that's daunting. We'll see what we can get done. Abby Ware and Blake Clevenger vie for the ball. Clevenger comes up, drives in. Ware's just going to rip it out of her hands. And Addison McNeely right there to pause the proceedings. Reese for 2. And that gets Cocke County into the 40-point territory here tonight. Nine-point ball game, 4:11 to go here in the third quarter. Foul called as Trammell drives to the bucket. Addison McNeely will get rung up on the boo-boo. And Esther Trammell will go to the foul line. And she'll make her first. And another one. 2 for 2. Trammell 6 for 6 tonight at the foul line. Feed across McNeely for 3. Trammell got in her face. And point guard Hallie Kitchen will pause and reset everything for the Lady Red. Kicks in. Pass to Reese. Rolls in and out. Carpenter smacks it away. Possession, Lady Red. Nobody over there to stop Clevenger from airing out a 3. And she'll take full advantage. It's a 10-point ball game. Robbinsville better be careful. They don't want to get too far behind this early in the half. Pass from Wachacha to Carpenter. No good. And the tussle for the ball. No dice. Do appreciate everyone. While I got a moment, I just want to thank everyone for all the birthday wishes today. My phone has been blowing up since, well, I woke up this morning, honestly. Over 200 folks have reached out to me today through Facebook or text messages. And there's Liz Carpenter for 2 off of a Kinsley Phillips assist. And we're back to a 8-point ball game. Ball stolen away again. Wachacha smacks it to Phillips. Trammell's pushed out. Deflection by Wachacha, stolen by Kinsley Grace, who will now inbound it. Kind of a hush has fallen over this gym here in the third quarter. Not sure what that's about. Heck of a ball game on the floor right now. And excitement still to come in the pipeline up next. Robbinsville, Cocke County Varsity Boys action right here on Gramstar Sports. Trammell for 3. It's off. Carpenter rebounds. Kicks it to Wachacha. And there's Kinsley Phillips. Back to Wachacha. She'll try a jumper for 2, and she'll hit it. Boy, Wachacha's improved leaps and bounds on her inside shooting this season. And it's a 6-point ball game. And how about that offensive charge? Called on Shakira Reed. That's her 4th foul. She better be careful. She won't have much longer on the floor. She's going to check out again in foul trouble. In for her is Laney Duncan, another senior for Cocke County. .222 to go in the ball game, or excuse me, the third quarter. And that one's going to drop in for Odessa Trammell. Four-point game. Robbinsville rallying. Got down by 10. They've won a 6-0 run before the foul call interrupts the drive. Heimer's already at the charity stripe. Sets up shop. Foul was called on Kinsley Phillips. That's actually her 3rd of the night. Phillips back up to the block. Heimer to the line. 2 shots. Makes her first. That gives Cocke County a little bit of breathing room. 5-point lead now. In and out. Carpenter rebound. 7 boards tonight for the sophomore from the other end of Tallulah. Carpenter Hollow, 3 points for Destiny Shea. She's getting warmed up. It's a 2-point ball game, 1:46 to go. Timeout called by Lucas Ford on the Gramstar Sports Network. 44-42. Cocke County still in the lead, but just slightly here at the moment, as Robbinsville has pieced together a rally cry to the tune of 9-1 to cut this one down from a 10-point deficit. Thanks some sharp shooting by Odessa Trammell. Good boarding inside by Liz Carpenter. Kinsley Phillips with a few assists along the way. Heimer will expand Cocke County's advantage a little bit more. Back to 4 now. Been an even quarter, 16-16. Kinsley Grace can't find the basket. Rebounded by Abby Ware. Feed into Trammell, who will get in a tussle with Addison McNeely. And Trammell hit hard. Tougher than a Waffle House steak. She'll pop right back up and trot up the floor. Abby Ware with 2 points and 2 rebounds. Ware and Gross, as we mentioned earlier, Katie Lynn Gross came away with 8 points in the JV loss earlier tonight. 46-23. 3-point shot there from Hallie Kitchen. Beg your pardon, that's McNeely on that. Phillips tried a quick response. Drive in. And they're going to call an offensive charge on Blake Clevenger. .37 seconds to go. Trammell in, nothing doing. 4 people in the paint. Everyone else was hanging out outside, admiring Trammell. Kicks in. Ball smacked away. Block number 6. Rebounded by Kinsley Phillips. Short time, 11 seconds left in the third. It is 49-42. And they're going to call Lucas Ford is not happy about that, to say the very least. .8 left. Cocke County ball. Into Nietheimer. Cleanup. Can't get it done there either. One more cleanup job. Can't get it done there either. Wachacha reels it in at the buzzer. 49-42, though. The Lady Red are in control of things here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Back in just a moment. Back live from Robbinsville High School, Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast of Robbinsville varsity basketball here on the Gramstar Sports Network. In town tonight, our friends from the other side of the Smoky Mountains, the Cocke County Lady Red. Mascot for the school is actually the Fighting Cocks, but the girls team called the Lady Red. 11-8 record this season. Robbinsville 9-5 this year. They face some stiff competition to eat those losses, though. About a 3-pointer across the floor. Rebound cleanup by Addison McNeely will get the job done. And Cocke County up by 9 again. Pass inside. Phillips can't get it. Rebounded by Abby Ware. She'll kick it out to Liz Carpenter. And ball is passed away. Carpenter tried to get it back to Phillips, but fed it to Hallie Kitchen instead. Wachacha with another deflection and a steal for Liz Carpenter. Drive for Kinsley Phillips for 2. Back to a 7-point deficit. And a 3 in response will be off. Nietheimer knocks Carpenter down. And 6:14 to go. Ball knocked away by Nietheimer. Out of bounds, so Phillips will head to the baseline. Well, the strategy there, of course, was to keep it alive and get a fresh reset on the baseline time, but couldn't do that. Kaylin Gross, Abby Ware, and Liz Carpenter cannot stop Nietheimer inside. She still gets the shot off. And a third chance rebound draws a foul. Comes with 5:51 to go in the ball game. And it's on Addison, or excuse me, I beg your pardon, it's on Liz Carpenter again. That's her 4th of the night. Addison McNeely's at the line to shoot. That one almost flirted its way back out. Nothing doing. 8-point ball game. 5:49 to go. Trammell with some fancy schmancy footwork. And an unassisted tray for Destiny Shea. And it's a 5-point ball game. In response, 2 for McNeely. 54-47. Trammell for another 3 off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Nietheimer. Knights are getting desperate here in the fourth. Trammell's trying to air out some shots to get them back in it. Still plenty of time left. Wachacha rebound. Wachacha with a dominant night inside. Trammell scoot her way in, go to the line. Nothing doing. Last touch by Nietheimer. 4:57 left. I also want to make mention, fans, that a portion of the proceeds from all sales of these Robbinsville telecasts go back to the athletic program at hand. So anything you spend on basketball will give right back to basketball, a portion of it, as well as football, volleyball, and of course in the spring, we'll do baseball and softball. We thought, fans, we were going to have wrestling for you this year. That unfortunately did not work out. A unexpected wrinkle come our way on that. And maybe we can map that out for the 2023-2024 season, because we do plan to keep going with GrahamStarSports.com here in Graham County, North Carolina. Ball forcefully swatted away, and Eddie Lynn Gross has an untied shoe. Like everybody's just thankful for the breather. Good crowd here, but of course, fans, a lot of you have bought in tonight. We appreciate your purchase. If you like what we're doing, support our product, our core product, each and every week, the Graham Star, your hometown newspaper since 1955. We've got subscriptions available. They're sold at newsstands all over Graham County. We've got some infiltration into Cherokee and Swain County as well. So you find a copy of the Graham Star, pick it up. It's $1 an issue. But you really can save yourself a lot of money if you subscribe. Wink, wink. Hard fought hustle at the moment. Waddy steal and Phillips drive. Doesn't go anywhere. Waddy with a 3-pointer tonight and 2 steals. 4:13 left in the ball game. My goodness, what a dish. Over to the bench. Kirsten Moore, junior for Cocke County, was trying to throw the heater at her teammates. Obviously trying to pass the ball to Hallie Kitchen, but wide left into that hope. Still 3:58 left in the ball game, and it's a 7-point Robbinsville deficit. Carpenter to Wachacha for 2. Boy, Robbinsville is just spot on with their looks here tonight inside. Give an assist to Carpenter. Wachacha now with 6 points. I beg your pardon. Yes, 6 points. 8 points. I'll get it right in a moment. And 6 rebounds and 6 blocks. McNeely drive. Can't get the job done. Abby Ware pulls it in. Abby Ware getting aggressive on the floor. Good to see. Almost a travel. Phillips for 2. Rolls out. And ball smacked away by Paige Nietheimer. Five-point ball game. 3:11 left. Wachacha on the inbound for 2. And we're down to a 3-point hole to dig out of. If you're a Lady Knight, if you're Cocke County, you're breathing into a paper bag right now. Robbinsville not looking lethargic now, are they? Good to see that. Nietheimer makes it happen. Good work. Boy, she had that scoped out. That is nothing but sheer floor presence to be able to know where you're out on the floor to just dump the ball in the basket. Waddy will hit the side of the scoreboard, or the backboard, I should say. Ball swatted away. Nietheimer pleaded her case, saying Carpenter got a fingernail on it. The referee deemed otherwise. 2:23 to go. Up next are the 12-3 Black Knights against Cocke County. We'll have opening intros for that when we get there. Trammell for the tie. Doesn't get it. Rebounded by Ware. Feed into Ware. Nothing there to slow down for two. Oh my, 1 point ball game. 3 point ball game, excuse me. 1:56 left. I will point out a fun fact, folks. Our Black Knights have played overtime 4 times this season. Robbinsville girls, none. So they're due. Anything's possible. You're down by 3 with 1:40 to go. Long three off. Nietheimer reeled it in from way back. Got the third chance. Junk ball. Ball's out. And possession Robbinsville with 1:27 to go. Oh my. What an effort being shown here tonight by these Lady Knights. They come in here tonight with something to prove. A 3A school from Tennessee that beat you by 10 points just 12 days ago. You get a chance at redemption. And Buddy, or the Lady Knights, making the most of it. Nesta Trammell will crawl up the floor with 1:21 left. And call for a foul inside. I believe that's going to be Abby Ware, and it is. Ware with a clean night until that. That was her first foul. But turned the ball over to the Lady Red. Be careful in a moment like this in a game. Can't be making fouls inside when your point guard's outside trying to set up your game-tying play. And Cocke County's going to do what they got to do. Keep the ball away, but a travel called with 1:02 to go. Holy cow, Hallie Kitchen with a brain fart if you'll have it. And I'm not knocking Miss Kitchen. She just got a little out of sync there. It happens. But it couldn't have happened at a worse time. Pair of turnovers. And Robbinsville holds the cards. Trammell feed with Cha-Cha over Nietheimer. Can't get the job done. Rebounded by Abby Nietheimer. Kicks down the floor to Clevenger, who will circle out. They didn't call the foul. Even Chris Mintz thought that should have been a foul call. And his team's the one trying to run the clock out. I got the foul called. And sadly, that's on the floor, I think. Nope, it's a bonus shot. My apologies. They hadn't changed the scoreboard yet. That's the 7th team foul of the half for Robbinsville. It went on Surrey Waddy. And in the clutch, Hallie Kitchen makes her first. That lengthens us out to a 4-point lead now for Cocke County. In and out. Big fight. Carpenter wins. Robbinsville basketball up the floor. Waddy is sent flying. But I think she's going to survive it. A-OK. Abby Nietheimer is charged with her second foul. Don't even have to change the scoreboard if you're Jason Postel. Good work. Waddy dumps it off to Trammell. Three-pointer off the front of the rim, and that's a hard foul for Clevenger to have to eat right there. Trammell doing all she could. Had to make it just about apparent. 27 seconds left. It's a fine line to walk. You want to foul them, you want to stop the clock, but you don't want to kill them to get the foul called. So what do? That one would have trimmed it within one, so Trammell's missed a couple of game-tying shots here. Actually, that would have trimmed it to one, so that would have been a game tire. Clevenger will make her first, and Cocke County's up by 5. Make that 6. Clevenger 2 for 2. And we're still with you. We're still live. This is the Graham Star Sports Network at Robbinsville High School. Here in the hidden gem of southwestern North Carolina, we are in Graham County. Here's Desta Trammell. Kicks it to Carpenter. Long 2. Travel called. Carpenter almost said something she shouldn't have said and would have had to repent later. She bit her tongue. And Waddy did what she had to do again. Clevenger has to eat another foul. Third one on Waddy. And time is drawing nigh for Robbinsville. 16.4 left. And Cocke County up 59-53. Robbinsville outscored Cocke County in the first and so far the fourth. But just by 1 point. It's been a seesaw battle. The 18-12 second quarter was killer. 18-13 second quarter was killer for Robbinsville. Rebound off the bonus. And it went to Abby Ware. Ware with 6 rebounds tonight off the bench. Carpenter dumps it to Desta Trammell. Long 3. It's off the side. Nietheimer will reel it in. And I'll bring it into this one, folks. Cocke County will sweep the season series. Final score, 59-53 in favor of the Lady Red. Cocke County improves to 12-8 on the season. Robbinsville drops to 9-6. We will crunch numbers as we always do here on Graham Star Sports and be back with you in just a moment, fans, with stat leaders from this game. And we'll step aside after we see our Robbinsville Black Knights trot out of their man-made tunnel. We'll call it that. Cocke County boys with an identical record coming into tonight's game, 11-8. Robbinsville is 12-3. As you see the red coming into your frame here in the bottom, or top right, I beg your pardon. So Cocke County able to stay one step ahead in this girls matchup, and that was all she wrote. Here come the Black Knights. 12-3, they sit atop the Smoky Mountain Conference. It's a non-conference matchup here tonight, but a good tune-up for tomorrow at Swain. And we'll step aside and return with stat leaders, hopefully here in about 5 or 6 minutes on GrahamStarSports.com.
All right, fam, it's time for our finale tonight between the visitors from Newport and Cocke County Fighting Cocks and the homestanding Robbinsville Black Knights. Starting 5 for Cocke County coming into tonight's game with a record of 11-8. Number 5, Lincoln, France. Number 10, Raisin, Stewart. Number 12, Baylor, Baxter. Number 22, Ethan, Pye. And number 30, Tyler, Hayes. And now for your 12-3 Robbinsville Black Knights. A senior from Manitoba, number 2, Brock Adams. A junior from Silver, number 3, Xander Woodchacha. A senior from Long Creek, number 4, Bo Rattler. A sophomore from Manitoba, number 10, Bryce Adams. And a junior from the Honey Boy Branch section of Silver, number 11, Jonathan Carpenter. Robbinsville is coached by Jake Beasley.
Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan bringing you tonight's telecast as we've done all season long here inside the Robbinsville High School Gymnasium. We've even touched on some away games. We do that every chance we can. Tomorrow night's matchup at Swain County will be on the Maroon Devils Network on YouTube. You can go check that out. Follow their page. Opening tip goes to Robbinsville. And we're underway. The opening tip comes tonight at 7:56 p.m. Three for Wachacha right off the bat. And that's a good way to get things started for Robbinsville. 4-0 lead here in the first quarter. Two inside for Kyler Hayes. And that'll trim it to 3-2 here in Graham County. These two teams met on January 6th as well. The outcome, Cocke County 63, Robbinsville 53. But folks, it was a lot closer game than that score indicates. The Knights even trimmed it to a 3-point deficit in the fourth quarter, but just could not contain the Fighting Cocks. Back-to-back baskets for Kyler Hayes. How about a long pass to Bo Rattler, in and out. Rebound for Brock Adams. And I'm going to say Mr. Adams stepped out of bounds. Cocke County's got some good size on their team. A lot of big players, muscular, tall, and boy, are they athletic. Grayson Stewart will clean up the loose ball for Cocke County. 4-3 here in the first. Ball stolen away by Don Carpenter, but he can't get it loose. Bo Rattler says he'll get it loose. No problemo. There are quick steals. Robbinsville ends up with the ball. Brock Adams, the senior point guard, will set up a play for the Knights. Adams for three. Nothing doing. Rebounded by Ethan Fine, who had a great night against the Black Knights in Newport on January the 6th. Hayes for two. Nothing doing. Rebound. Eventually ends up on Brock Adams, and we've got an injured player, I believe, for Cocke County. Number 12, Baylor Baxter, is down, and he is not getting up. So while we check on Mr. Baxter, trainers are on the floor. We're not going to show that, but we are going to step aside. 5:53 left here in the first quarter. Looks like Mr. Baxter is A-OK. He'll walk off the floor under his own power. I believe in all the tussle, Bryce Adams, I beg your pardon, simply fell upon Baxter's back, which is obviously dangerous. Don't want to see that. We always state a great intention to try and get stats crunched after the girls' game before the boys start. But those 10 minutes just tend to fly by. We'll get the numbers crunched for you at halftime. If we can get them sooner, we'll get that done. 4-3, Cocke County lead, 5:27 to go here in the first quarter. Hard fought rebound. Bryce Adams ain't having it tonight. Carpenter pump shot, nothing doing. Rebounded by Bo Rattler. He overshoots it. And the ball is rebounded by Kyler Hayes. Floater inside, nothing doing. Foul called. That'll be on the floor. Xander Wachacha rung up for a foul. His first of the night. First one for Robbinsville. And a three-pointer for Kyler Hayes. Make that a two, excuse me. 6-3 your score. Bo Rattler under double team pressure throws the ball away and ends up on the Fighting Cocke's bench. Ball stolen away under the basket by Xander Wachacha. A speedy defense showing up. And in response, Brazen Stewart with a speedy D of his own. Point guard strips it away for the Fighting Cocks. Triple team. More like a double, though. Brock Adams, he's kind of held back. Bryce and Bo tag teaming Baxter already back in the game. Possession stays with the Fighting Cocks. 3:58 to go here in the first quarter. It's 6-3 in favor of Cocke County. And that shot went nowhere. Dumped off by Bryce Adams. Older brother Brock drives in and gets the foul. Adams had 18 points Monday night at Highlands. All right, 8-3 here in the first quarter, 3:40 to go. Brock Adams unfortunately missing both his foul shots. And the foul itself was actually on number 22. That was Ethan Fine, his first foul of the game. Slow start for both teams. Low scoring outing so far. Fine for three. Rebounded by Don Carpenter. Doing it for the sick ones at home. We wish them a speedy recovery, I should say. Miss seeing their precious faces around the game here tonight. Big block by Big Don. Several of the Robbinsville players admitted after the loss at Cocke County on January 6th, they were a bit intimidated by the surroundings and the size of this team. When they figured out they could play with them, the game really closed up. And here tonight they're showing zero intimidation. Second foul already on Ethan Fine. So he'll take a pause on the bench. Shoved down Bo Rattler for no reason whatsoever there. And they made him pay. Number 24, Orrin Hazelwood, in the game now. In response, Wachacha across. Ball plucked away by Lake in France. He does some damage in Newport, and he does some damage here with a transition basket. Good work. 8-3 Fighting Cocks. Three for Wachacha. Off the rim. Rebounded by Bryce Adams. Wachacha inside. Draws the foul. Oh, my. That's one thing about it this year, folks. Robbinsville will give you all the thrills you could ever want in a basketball game. Foul goes on Orrin Hazelwood. That's his first. Cha-Cha will make his first. Cuts the deficit in half now, 8-4, here in the first quarter. And he goes 2 for 2. .232 left. Hazelwood, low-key feed. Blake in France with 3, 11-5. France actually jawed off a little bit to the student section after he made that shot, so things getting heated already on the floor here in the first quarter. Bryce Adams tries to just dump it over the head of Orrin Hazelwood, and he does it on attempt number 2. Bryce Adams, 4 rebounds already here tonight, and 2 points now to show for it. Hazelwood for 3. It's out. Donovan Carpenter with his second rebound of the night. Always good to see Janelle Rattlers come up here and hung out with us for a moment. Appreciate having her up here on our catwalk or broadcast position here in Robbinsville High School gym. They've given us nice setup, expansive table to spread out our setup. Make this telecast as possible as we can for all you great fans here on the Gramstar Sports Network. The foul was on Kyler Hayes. Don Carpenter makes his first. And Robbinsville slowly but surely getting an offensive tempo going, 2 for 2. And it's a 2-point ball game with 1:34 to go. Pass in, and that'll draw the foul. Carpenter makes 2 and then gets a foul called on him against Orrin Hazelwood, who will make the basket, I believe. He will. Scoreboard's up now to 13-9. And after the Carpenter foul, he's got a chance for a 3-point play. And he misses it. Ball was rebounded by who else but Bryce Adams, sophomore from Atoa. 5 rebounds already here in the first quarter. And heavy pressure. Wachacha kicks across. Ball stolen away by Lincoln France. Here comes Cocke County. Feed down the floor. And another quick steal in response for Brock Adams. He'll drop a 3, and it will not find the net. Cocke County will come away with the cleanup. Here's France down the floor. Brock Adams with rebound number 3 here in the quarter. And he'll drive into the paint, circle around, and cut it to 2. Good work. "13 seconds. Kick across, corner 3 coming. And it's nothing but net. And 2 seconds left to go. Wachacha gets across, fires it off. 0.1 on the clock. And a foul's called. By the way, that was Major Woods on the 3-pointer for Cocke County. And Wachacha will go to the line now. Woods made the 3 and then drew the foul. Or made the foul, I should say. And now here's Wachacha trying to salvage this trip. 1 for 2. It was actually a 3-point foul, so onward we roll. One more try for Xander Wachacha, junior shooting guard for Robbinsville. And he goes 2 for 3. That's a respectable effort. And that's the end of the opening quarter. Robbinsville trailing 16-13, and we'll step aside for just a moment. Stay with us on the Gramstar Sports. We're still crunching some numbers, fans, but we're going to come back to you for the second quarter of action here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Robbinsville trailing Cocke County, Tennessee, 16-13. 2 for Don Carpenter will be off, rebounded by Lincoln France. We're crunching some numbers here in between quarters for the girls' game. Trying to get some final stats out there for all you great fans. As that 2-pointer drops in for number 50, that is Zeke Ramos. Checking into the game. Getting a bucket. And it makes it 18-13. Quinn Jumper floats inside. Finds the basket. Jumper, win, lose, or draw, is your 6th man this year for Robbinsville. He is dangerous off the bench. Rebound for Brock Adams, number 4 in this game, and, well, the half, of course. Brock for 2 finds the net. And in the blink of an eye, the Knights are down by 1. It's 18-17. Rebound for Don Carpenter. Third one for him tonight. He's got a block and a steal, and he went 2 for 2 at the foul line in the first quarter. Cocke County called for 6 fouls in the first quarter. Don Carpenter with the go-ahead bucket, 19-18. Robbinsville has only been called for 2 so far. So the Knights on a 6-2 run to begin the second. Ball's loose. Who's going to scoop it up but Quinn Jumper? And the hot feed to Don Carpenter outpaced the Robbinsville quarterback. Zeke Ramos comes away with it. Drive for 2. Spins into the net. And I believe that was Mr. Hayes again on that basket. It was not. My apologies. That was Orrin Hazelwood on the bucket. And advantage goes back to Cocke County. Arbiter basket pass to Caleb Draper, who's in the game now, senior for the Black Knights. And you see Brock Adams here circling around, trying to scope the floor for his options. Arbiter wanted to do something fancy inside, but too much pressure. Gotta get it back to him, and he misses the shot. The board pulled down by Lakin France. 4:51 to go in the half. 3-pointer for Hazelwood, and he drained it. Boy, Hazelwood's been hot in relief. 3 for Brock Adams, and response, timeout called. I believe by Robbinsville. I guess they're all going to bring that up as a 2. My apologies. 23-21 as we step aside on the Graham Star Sports. 23-21, Cocke County advantage. Welcome back to the Graham Star Sports Network. 4:17 left in the first half. Ball swatted away, and I'll turn it over to Robbinsville. Bryce Adams eventually finds his way to the net for 2. And we're knotted up at 23-all here on GrahamStarSports.com. All right, folks, we're feverishly trying to get some stats crunched from the girls' game. A very impressive night for Robbinsville, despite the 6-point loss. And what we're getting deciphered so far will be fun to talk about during the break. Adams got the rebound, but a foul was called after pulling it down. I'll wait and see who they called it on. So that one is on Major Woods. It's already bonus time for the Black Knights. Second foul of the half for Mr. Woods. And to the line is going to be the younger brother of the Adams clan. And the Knights take the lead on the foul shot. It's 24-23. One more on top of it, just for good measure. 2-point lead for the Knights. Nice last-second pass to Kyler Hayes from Brazen Stewart. And we're tied again. Foul called in the paint. Referee Dusty Snyder is going to charge one on, I believe, Blake in France. And it is Mr. France. His second of the game. 2:36 left in the half. And Brock Adams makes his first of two. And he makes his second. 2-point lead for Robbinsville. Three-pointer will get Cocke County back ahead here, 28-27. Chacha in, last second feed to Bo Rattler. 4-2. And he'll drive it in. 29-28. Heavy pressure from the Knights. Lake in France casually airs out a three. 31-29. Cocke County continues to pile away at Robbinsville here tonight. Minute 30 to go in the first half. Seesaw matchup throughout the entire boys varsity game so far. Bryce Adams to Bo Rattler for two more. We're tied again. Neither team can really get a discernible advantage. The assist to Bryce Adams, former point guard when he was in middle school. Well, he knows what it's about to share the ball. Rebound by Nathaniel Shope. Kicked in a little bit ago for Robbinsville. Brock Adams tipped away at the net. Foul called. 47 seconds on the clock. And it looks like it was on Kyler Hayes. That's his second of the half. And Brock Adams goes to the charity stripe. And he'll make his first. Second one's in and out, rebounded by Hazelwood. He'll duck under coverage and push on to the goal. One ends up in Don Carpenter's hands, rebounded for Robbinsville. And ball plucked away by Hazelwood. Although student section not too happy about that proceeding. And ball plucked away by Wachacha. Broken up. Last second dish for two to Brock Adams. Good to see that. Good work. A steal and assist and two. And a foul called. Brazen Stewart a little slow to his feet. Although the 21-point second quarter, and Brock Adams will get the rebound, and the Knights will get the last laugh. They'll go to the locker room with a 34-31 lead here on the Grand Star Sports Network. Before we step aside, folks, we want to take just a moment to read off some of the stat leaders from the girls' matchup. Of course, Robbinsville fell 59-53 to Cocke County, Tennessee. It's the craziest thing, fans. At halftime, we tend to have these little mini games break out on the floor with some minis. That's probably your future Robbinsville basketball right there, if I had to guess. Some sweet moves from some of these kids. At the break, Robbinsville has pulled ahead of Cocke County 34-31 here on the Grand Star Sports Network. As we try to scream over Leonard Skinner, we'll tell you the halftime stat leaders. Brock Adams with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. Bryce Adams, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. And Xander Wachacha, 6 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, I beg your pardon, and an assist. Short break, about a minute and a half left before we begin the second half of play here on the Grand Star Sports Network. Plenty of thrills from the Black Knights this season. They're 12-3, undefeated in conference play. And, folks, they'll resume the second half of the run through the conference schedule tomorrow night at Swain County. You can catch that game for free on the Maroon Devils YouTube page. Just search for Maroon Devils Network. And make sure you click the subscribe button so our friends in Bryson City can get the telecast to you on express mail. Robbinsville then travels to Cherokee on Tuesday and returns home the following Tuesday after checking in at Murphy next Thursday. So the road woes continue, and when it all shakes out, the Black Knights will have only played 3 times at home in the entire month of January. And that counts tonight. Right off the bat, Kyler Hayes drains a 3, and we are tied up in the blink of an eye here on the Grand Star Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and the one and only Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast of Black Knights basketball. Rattlers is going to pull up and try a long 2 and misses it. Bryce Adams pulls down rebound number 6.
Don't hesitate.
Here's Bryce Adams over the dump for 2. Give Bo Rattler the assist. Defense chant breaking out from our student section out here below us. I say that the indoor track athletes made their way back in from their meet today at Swain County. Zoe Schuler broke another school record because, of course, she did. It's her own record. Jumped 38-10 in the triple jump today. Her record was 38-3 before that, if I'm not mistaken. Ethan Fine in foul trouble, had to sit out most of the first half. He's out here for the third. Kyler Hayes air mails a 3. What a smack by Baylor Baxter to keep the ball alive. Drive for 2. Don Carpenter pulls it down. Carpenter with 5 rebounds here tonight, 4 points. The Chacha circles all around the world. Off the tip, no backcourt called. Brock Adams, last second dunk to Don Carpenter for 2. That right there, folks, is the mark of a great point guard. Could have took it in himself, but dumped it off for the easier shot. Blake in France for Cocke County responds with a 3, and it's 38-37. Yeah, folks, I want to thank our sponsors, Computer Resolutions, Lovin Equipment and Sales, Coy Adams Timber Company, and, of course, our friends at Blevins Electric and Blevins Insurance. You see them on the screen because they are our season-long sponsor. All of them making these telecasts possible this year in various forms or fashion. Still by Ethan Fine, and it's almost a wasted effort. Kyler Hayes a little upset over the foul call. 5:07 to go, and Mr. Hayes and the rest of the Cockes will have to trot back up the floor. That's Hayes' third foul of the game. That's one thing that has helped the Robbinsville effort here tonight. Cocke County's troublesome players, if you'll have it, have stayed in foul trouble most of the evening. Here's Wachacha. And it comes up a little bit short, Lakey France on the rebound. 3, 4, fine. Can't get it. Excuse me, that's Baylor Baxter on the three-point attempt. The rebound was by Bryce Adams. Chucks over. Bo Rattler thought about a corner three, changed his mind. And Brock Adams in the corner will now circle back out to the top of the key. 4:22 to go here in the third quarter. That's our terrific camera operator doing a fantastic job over here tonight. Bring you right into the action. Bryce Adams just missed a bucket there. Turns it over to Cocke County. Rebound again, this time for Bo Rattler. Dumps it off to point guard Bryce Adams. And how about a 2 for Brock Adams? .40-37. How about a long 3 for Brayson Stewart? And that'll pause the game at a 40-40 split here on the Grand Star Sports Network. We will be right back in just a moment. We'll roll along here. Referees are back out on the floor, and so are the Robbinsville Black Knights and the Cocke County Fighting Cocks from Tennessee 3A school in the eastern part of the state, tucked away in the Smoky Mountains. Bryce Adams all around the world, but can't get it in. Don Carpenter on the rebound. Ball last touched by Cocke County in the tussle. Don Carpenter, 6 rebounds here tonight. Major Woods will steal the inbound. Flies up the floor. Bryce Adams with a decisive block. You can feel it shake your living room, folks. That's 2 blocks here in this game already for Mr. Bryce Adams. I don't know that he'll get as many as Aubrey Wachacha had in the girls' game. She finished with 6. Big night for the big junior center for the Lady Knights, even though they lost. Rebounded by Baylor Baxter. Putback no good. Don Carpenter getting in there, getting messy. Ball stolen away again. And last touched by Cocke County. Boy, what a spirited effort by both teams to maintain possession there. And you see the end result. It's eventually going to go back to Robbinsville. Have Draper in the game to give Xander Wachacha a breather. See him lay on the ground over there, sucking in some wind. Ball's out, last touched by, they're going to say Cocke County last touched it, and Mr. Baxter does not approve. Don Carpenter inbound 3 will trade it. And that's 9 points tonight for Donovan Carpenter. Knights still up by 3. Blake and France, nothing doing. Rebound by Bryce Adams. Brock Adams circling into the paint, drives in, draws the foul. Probably going to be on Mr. France. 1:51 left here in the third. And it's actually on Major Woods. My apologies. That's number 0 in your program. Third foul tonight for Major Woods. And Brock Adams will make his first there. So it's a 4-point lead. Second one, no dice. Rebounded by Baylor Baxter. Caleb Draper and Bo Rattler way outside the perimeter trying to trap him. Ball rolls out. France couldn't get a grip on it. And it rolls to Germany for the turnover. Cocke County faithful in attendance. Not many here tonight. Long trek. It's about a 2-hour drive to Newport. But the ones that are here getting behind their team down by 4 with 1:04 to go. Ball stolen away. Corner 3 for Lake and France. Yes, sir. And Mr. France makes it a 1-point ball game as we dip under the 1-minute mark. Bryce Adams, good kick to Caleb Draper. Bo Rattler doesn't like his look. He'll give it back to Bryce, and he'll get 2. And that's a good look. Just to Bo Rattler. That is his second here tonight. Brazen Stewart kicks over to Lake in France. He'll drive in. Last second dish. And the bucket. For Baylor Baxter, 1-point ball game. .11 seconds to go. And Robbinsville looks to have the final possession of the period. Don Carpenter to Brock Adams. Cocke's coming out to play on the perimeter. And no foul called. 46-45 Robbinsville after 3 quarters of play. The intensity just continues to simmer here on the Gramstar Sports Network. 8 minutes on the clock and a 1-point lead for Robbinsville. Welcome back to GramstarSports.com. We hope while you're here, make sure you check out our site. We have the teams listed and their current season. So right now it's basketball. Over the fall, of course, we have volleyball and football rosters. Pictures to go with them, thanks to our friends at Maria Shook and Miranda Buchanan Photography. Caleb Draper in trouble. He'll find his way back out. We do hope to eventually make GramstarSports.com your one-stop shop. So having an external private video. And some boos coming out of the student section here to our bottom left. I think that's because Carter Birchfield is exiting. Much to the dismay of the student body. Birchfield, a phenomenal young man. Always good to chat with him at any time. Corner 3 for Ethan Fine. And that gives the Fighting Cocks the lead. What I'm saying, folks, when Fine's in the game, he is a fine player. He's been in foul trouble tonight, though. Draper didn't want to take the corner 3. Bo Rattler one-on-one pressure from Hazelwood. Hazelwood tried to get a call there, but couldn't. He might have got popped in the mouth inadvertently. .48-46 with 6:33 left. Good pressure. Draper smacks it away again with Cha-Cha. Throwing a little off kilter on the breakaway attempt. Timeout called by Cocke County with 6:16 to go. We'll be back in just a moment. Sorry about that. Literally watched Baylor Baxter signal a timeout to the referee after the quick strip on the steal. Nothing doing. That's a timeout didn't register. 48-46, Fighting Red in the lead at the moment. And Ethan Fine is trying to reverse Cocke County's fortunes. Back-to-back threes for Ethan Fine. And it's a 5-point Cocke County lead. And the ball turned over to the Fighting Cocks. And after a super lengthy discussion, we'll get back to play. 5:42 to go here on the Grand Star Sports Network. We're going to do our very best to secure telecasting rights for next Tuesday's away game when Robbinsville travels to Cherokee. Not liking our chances at Murphy next Thursday. At some point, the away game at Hiawassee Dam will be made up. We have still got to find out when that will be. Fine with an 8-point burst back in the game here. How about a Carpenter 3 to keep Robbinsville in it? And it's now 53-46. And there's two more. Thanks to Brazen Stewart. Arbiter grabs that one, will drop it in. Boy, what a Spartan flurry that was. And Cocke County has come out the better side of it so far. 10-5 run here in the fourth quarter. First 8 points coming from Ethan Fine, the big that you just saw dribble the ball away to Baylor Baxter, and now Brazen Stewart to Fine. Played jumper on the perimeter, one-on-one with Baxter. Baxter drives in. Foul called on the floor. I believe it's going to be on Bryce Adams. Stand corrected at his own Quinn jumper. 4:02 to go. And now Cocke County calls a timeout. We're pretty sure they did this time anyway. Comes with 4:02 left. And Cocke County leading 55-51. It is 55-51 here on the Grand Star Sports Network. 4:02 to go. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast of Black Knights basketball. Long three, nothing doing. Rebounded by Bo Rattler. This one far from over. Big block by big Kyler Hayes. Slows down Brock Adams on the other end of the floor. Carpenter tried to just chuck it across the quit jumper. Couldn't do it. Ball stolen away again. Carpenter pushed to the ground. Scramble for the ball. And eventually Robbinsville gets it back anyhow. .36 to go. Bo Rattler for three. It's in, baby. All net. We'll give Mr. Adams an assist there. Rebound for Don Carpenter. 1 point ball game. Things are getting interesting again. And a big slam by Don Carpenter. Go ahead bucket. 56-55 Robbinsville. That has energized this crowd here in Robbinsville. Whistle blows with 3 minutes exactly left on the clock. Foul was on Brock Adams. That was his second of the game. 2:53 left. Knights up by 1. And a double foul is going to be called. Might even be a double technical, as a matter of fact. That's a lot to have to sort out. 2:36 left. And we'll see where it all comes from. So it is going to be a double, I'm pretty sure, on that call. Ethan Fine will get the first crack at the free throw line. And he misses his first. Misses his second. And I guess that'll be all she wrote for the technicals. I guess there will be no double foul shots either. That's on Fine. So Fine went 0 for 2 there with a chance to pull Cocke County back ahead. And with 2:36 left. Make sure we got right the scorer's table. Looks like we do. I feed in Lake of France. We'll reel it in. Push on the floor. Bo Rattler went screaming across the paint. But he's calling the foul anyway. 2:28 left in the ballgame. Wing jumper, keeping a close eye on Baxter. France will get it on the left. Don Carpenter tried to steal, but interrupted by the pursuit of Stewart. And the eruption of cheers tells you who's here mostly tonight. The Robbinsville fans, of course, are at home. .208 left. Rebound by Fine. Rebound for Carpenter. Knights still ahead. Carpenter for 3. And the insurance does not pay off. Rebound for Lake in France. Folks, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. It could go either way. If we go to overtime, Montana might have to clock out early. Early start tomorrow. Good ball movement by the Fighting Cocks. France for the go-ahead. He drains it. And immediately a timeout called by the Newport natives. 57-56 with 1:05 to go. Back in just a moment. Knights scramble for the inbound. They've got 10 seconds to do it, and they get the job done. Don Carpenter on a dead sprint. Under a minute to go. 57-56. Cocke County lead at the moment. It's a 1-point ball game, and it really could go either way. It's been pretty even all night. The biggest lead really for either team was a 53-46 lead for Cocke County here at the outset of the fourth. Ethan Fine came in off the bench and hit 2 threes to give him the advantage. Timeout called now by Jake Beasley. 30-second pause. back in just 33 seconds to go in the ball game. 57-56. Fighting Cocke's advantage at the moment. Inbound to Brock Adams. Lake in France right there. Ball bumped away. Cocke County basketball. If you're Robbinsville, you got a foul here, and you do. Who's going to win it? It'll be Mr. Wachacha called on the foul. Second foul of the game. Inbound. Fight. And last touch by Robbinsville. Holy smokes. Jake Beasley will have an aneurysm over on the sideline. That is a tough call. Referee that made the call, not really in position. And we've got a little bit of a discussion here. And it looks like a foul's been called now, so it's a 1-and-1. Bonus time for the Fighting Cocks. Brock Adams was called for a foul in all that tussle. And make the most of it. Brazen Stewart hits his first. 58-56. Nothing doing on the 1 out of 2. Wachacha gets it to Brock Adams. Ball's loose. Into the stands. Last touched by the Fighting Cocks. You want to talk about a mad dash to the finish line, folks. You're getting it right here on Wednesday Night Basketball on the Gramstar Sports Network. Cocke County will take a breather with 10 seconds to go. Back in just a moment. Back live from Robbinsville. 10 seconds to go. Energetic feel here in the final closing moments of tonight's telecast and 4-game set with Cocke County. Robbinsville has yet to defeat this team, this program, this school in any way, shape, or form this year. How about 3 for Wachacha? Oh my goodness, rebounded by Adams. Foul called, and Bryce Adams will go to the charity stripe. How do you like that if you're a Black Knight fan? 3.8 left. Foul called on Lake in France. That's his third of the night. What? Adams makes his first. And boy, is this shot big. We are tied, fans. 3.8 to go. Inbound for Cocke County. They've got time, but not much. Here's the shot to buzzer. Pop shot short. We're going to overtime here in Graham County. Robbinsville has played 15 games this season, fans, and this is the 5th one to go to overtime. Welcome back to the Gramstar Sports Network, and we're with you for the duration. Win, lose, or draw here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Don Carpenter, quick feed inside to Bryce Adams here in overtime. Rebound for Don Carpenter, thrown away. Possession, Cocke County. It is a 4-minute overtime period in North Carolina, if you're keeping track at home. There's Baxter, travel inside. And that's a big break for the Knights. That basket dropped. Check out that. Tonight is the 16th game that Robbinsville has played this year, and 5 have went to overtime, but still, that is a unusual statistic for a high school basketball team to go to that many overtimes in one season. Knights, as we've said throughout the year, have done nothing but just provide all the thrills you could ever want. Started the year with a 64-54 overtime win over Smoky Mountain. Went on to defeat North Buncombe 77-71 in double overtime. Defeated Cherokee the next night, or the next game, 72-68 in overtime. Brock Adams goes coast to coast. Off the steal, deflection done by Quinn Jumper. Foul called. And their final overtime game most recently was December 28th against Veritas Christian Academy. That was in the Smoky Mountain Invitational Christmas Tournament in Silva. And that's Boston tonight. And one, no dice. 60-58 Knights. The foul, by the way, was called on, Stewart. That was his second of the night. Oh, boy, Kyler Hayes was left open at the top. Could not get it. France pushes down Adams. And an offensive foul called, and France has had it. Holy cow. Oh, I wish you fans could be here with us tonight. If you're not able to watch, we sure appreciate you being with us on the Graham Star Sports Network. There is simply no way to truly express the energy in this gym at the moment. Carpenter dumps it off to Brock Adams. He'll scooch in. Tries feed to Bryce. Jump ball called. Nope, it's going to be a foul. And I believe that was on Ethan Fine. Check that. That is on Baylor Baxter. That is his fourth of the night. And the 1-1 goes nowhere. Rebounded by the Fighting Cocks. 1:45 left in overtime. France's three-pointer broken up. Quinn Jumper with the rebound. Brock Adams. Hey, Knights are holding the lead right now. Don't do anything fancy. Ball stripped away. Tough. Physical basketball. Kyler Hayes with a layup. We're tied again. 60-all. So we've learned that our clock does not show overtime. It just shows a fifth quarter. So just use your imagination and your knowledge of sports. Foul call. Kyler Hayes is in a rage on the floor right now. He tries to the line in a very foul mood. 4 fouls tonight on Kyler Hayes. Bo Rattler set to go 1-1. That one in and out. Carpenter out, rebounds Hayes. Foul called. France is done for the night. How do you like the hustle of the Robbinsville Black Knights here tonight? Stacey Carpenter might be having a revival at her house right now after that. France will head to the showers. Heck of a ball game. But he's fouled out here in overtime. Don Carpenter 1-1. First one's out. Ethan Fine with the rebound. I thought it was 1-1. I guess it was a 2-shot foul either way. Sorry about that. A lot of confusion in the paint. And Carpenter gets it. Advantage goes back to Robbinsville. Woo-wee, 61-60. Good push by Stewart. Nothing but net. Adams has lost the ball, folks. Baylor Baxter with a hard shot on Bo Rattler. And they both go to the line. This is a very tense matchup on the floor right now. I will be utterly shocked if a fight does not try to break out at some point. The teams are tired. The teams are mad. It's late. Montana's first shift at Ingalls is at 5:30 in the morning. And just for fun, there's a flop sweat spot on the floor that we got to clean up back here behind us. I guess it was a phantom spot of sweat. At the line is Baylor Baxter. Foul was on Bo Rattler, by the way, his second of the game. Shot is off. Don Carpenter popped right in the nostril. In the ensuing fun, right there catching a breather. And if that call was on Kyler Hayes, that's the end of his night as well. Ball inbounded. Ball is stripped away. Tough Sonner. Kyler Hayes went flying into the bench. Last touch by Mr. Hayes. So there was no foul. Hayes is still alive at the moment. Inbound for Robbinsville right in front of its bench. 1 point ball game. Timeout called by Jake Beasley. He'll ask for 60 seconds and we'll step aside with him and grab our breath here on the Gramstar Sports Network. They're going to hand off to Bo Rattler for the inbound. It'll go to Bryce Adams. 32 seconds and counting in overtime. 62-61. Fighting Cocke. Don Carpenter hit hard by Baylor Baxter. Little Tony from the student section. Although they're not wrong, you really can't do that. Baxter stayed relatively clean tonight, only 2 fouls. Don Carpenter at the line with a chance to pull Robbinsville back ahead. It's a 2-shot foul. Number 1 is out. Somehow. Carpenter trying to maintain his composure. 20 seconds to go. And that'll tie it up. But it is red basketball with 16 seconds to go. Brazen Stewart crosses half court. Brock Adams guarding him close. 8 seconds. Stewart's going to make a bad move here at the last second, I'm sure. He drives in. Travel called by the officials. 3 seconds to go. Timeout called by the Black Knights. Jake Beasley takes another one. 3 seconds left. We ain't going nowhere, folks, on the Gramstar Sports Network. Well, let's see what Mr. Beasley and company drew up for Robbinsville. 3 seconds to go in our first overtime. And if the score holds, we're promised at least 4 more minutes of heart-breaking, heart-attacking, stress-inducing excitement on the Gramstar Sports Network. Jumper with the long lob. Brock Adams drilled it in and almost found the basket. Well, thank you very much. Double overtime. We'll be back. We're never getting out of here. Stay with us. Don't pop it in the back. Slap a fresh 4 minutes back on the clock, fans. Welcome back to Robbinsville. 62-62. Hey, fans, Robbinsville lost at Cocke County by 10 in their first outing. So this is, well, a market improvement. But neither team can really pull ahead. Don Carpenter trying to change that with a quick bucket right off the bat. Start worrying about foul counts at this point for sure. Several of the Fighting Cocks have 4. Robbinsville's pretty clean. Brock Adams at 3. Robbinsville's in double bonus right now. Cocke have Robbinsville has 8 fouls. So the Cockes are in knee bonus. 3:07 to go. Circle into the paint by Major Woods. 2 for Stewart. Will connect. Bryce Adams kicks it out to Quinn Jumper. Folks, I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry. I've gotten a little revved up here tonight. That happens in overtime. Crowd still here. Crowd still festive. Rebound, hard push inside. And no call sticks. That's Donovan Carpenter for the foul. 2:29 to go. Carpenter, that is just his third. So Robbinsville's main guns are still in good shape. Some fouls to burn if you'll have it. To the line is Baylor Baxter. And the 1-and-1 is over with as quick as it starts. Bryce Adams pulled down his 11th rebound. And Doug Carpenter hits a 3 off the assist from Brock Adams. 67-64 Black Knights. Don't count these boys out ever. I mean ever. I don't care what the deficit is. I don't care how big the team is. Never discount the Knights. Major Woods can't find a 3. Brock Adams rebound. He'll drive in. Foul called. Ethan Fine right on Adams' heels. And I'm sure will be charged accordingly. Third foul of the night for Fine. He had 2 in the first half, so they pulled him for much of the half. And boy, when he came in the fourth, he made an impact. An 8-0 run that actually gave Cocke County their biggest lead of the night at that point. Brock Adams goes 2 for 2, and it is a 5-point lead. Well, I'm going to have to start talking at a lower register here in just a moment. 3-pointer for Baylor Baxter. Timeout called. We'll step aside. It's a 2-point ball game, fans. Stay with us on the Graham Star Sports Network. 69-67. Robbinsville holds the lead at the moment. Went up by 5 a moment ago. Brock Adams with an assist, a rebound, and a pair of foul shots here in the second overtime. Yes, I said the second one. Don Carpenter with 5 points. Knights had a 5-point lead until a 3-point shot from Baylor Baxter trimmed that down to 2. And here we are. Ball Rattler fouled by Brazen Stewart. We mentioned earlier that a select few of the Newport fans made their way over here tonight. We hope some of you are watching. Hope you enjoyed tonight's telecast. We stream all season long, mostly home games. When we can get away game coverage, we'll do our very best. So if you ever want to tune back in just for fun to watch Robbinsville, we're here. Check our schedule on Max Preps and follow us here for games. Bo Rattler goes 1 for 2. 70-67 Robbinsville. How about a long 3 to tie it? Oh boy. 1:03 to go. Well, that's one way for Stewart to make up for that foul a moment ago. Tie it up again, folks. First overtime had 4 points each. This second one so far has 8 on either side of the scorebook. And nothing is going to make anything speed up right now. The Knights are going to play it safe. Bryce Adams is chilling back here near the half-court line below us. He'll finally break into the paint with 28 seconds to go and miss the spin. Ethan, fine rebound, dumps it off to his point guard. Raises Stewart, flies up the floor. Here's Baylor Baxter back to Stewart. Major Woods chucks it to 5 for 3. It is off the rim. Quinn Jumper with the rebound. 10 seconds. Brock Adams going up the floor. Let's see what happens. Oh, baby. That's the shot you wanted. Timeout called by Jake Beasley. 2.1 to go. Adams with a clutch layup. Back in just a moment. Oh my, let's see what the Cocke County Cocks have come up with. 2.1 to go. The gym is at a fever pitch here in Graham County. You won't find a more exciting basketball game anywhere in North Carolina here tonight. And head coach Cocke County saw the defense set up and called a timeout to re-strategize. We're here. All right, fans. This is it. Win, lose, or draw, I believe. Unless Cocke County can pull off a miracle, hope, pass, and prayer. And they're going to try to. Don't you be fooled. I gave it to Hayes. Oh, my goodness. He hit the backboard. That's all, folks. How about Robbinsville pulling off a double overtime victory? That's the second one this year. The Knights are 5-0 in overtime action this season. Nobody can take them down when it gets down to the final minutes of the game. We'll be right back with final stat leaders, and we'll wrap up tonight's telecast here on the Graham Star Sports Network. All right, fans, back with you live from Robbinsville High School. Final score after all said and done, and the final blood's been drawn 72-70. And guess what? In the most unsurprising turnout of the evening, Robbinsville wins another overtime game. That is their fifth one this year. They are 5 for 5 when it goes to extra periods. Brock Adams, of course, hits the game-winning layup with 2.1 seconds left in regulation. Cocke County, with a smart play they drew up, just trying to get it into the hands of Kyler Hayes. Appreciate all of you tuning in and sticking it out with us throughout the entirety of our telecast. Hey, we'll be back on the air just as soon as humanly possible. Hopefully that will be next Tuesday at Cherokee. If not, we will for sure see you a week from that, January 31st, here at home against Andrews. For Montana Buchanan, go check her out at the deli tomorrow. She'll make you a delicious sandwich over here at Ingles. I am Kevin Hensley. We appreciate all of you tuning in. What a wonderful birthday present this could have been for me. I couldn't ask for a better one. The Knights win and vindicate that loss earlier this season. Good night, everybody.